Boo. How you doing, people? Milky, Monday Night Mayhem. Still working on a title. Still working on a name. Haven't quite decided. Milky Madness, Milky Monday Night Mayhem. We'll figure it out, but it's Monday, so Milky's here, hanging out. I haven't got any Willow breakdowns or any show breakdowns because we do all that on Headless's show right now because we don't need to talk for 3 hours about a 40-minute episode of Willow. You know, the other shows demanded that kind of stuff because it was detailed and breakdowns and stuff, but that doesn't need it. So yeah, we're just on Headless's at the minute for the Willow. That's coming to an end soon, and then it's going to be back to Sunday, Monday, Sunday, Monday, Sunday, Monday. So stay tuned and stay on the lookout as well, because there might be some things popping up on some popular YouTube channels close to you. So stay tuned. Let me open this comment tab. Whoa, loads of people. 5-minute intro was played in honor of Anthony Blaze because he came in and asked if we were going to get one. So we got one. I do need to work. I do definitely need to work on it though, because I can just tell it's not the best quality and I want it to be better. And I hate that there's green things around it. Like I need to get rid of all that kind of stuff. But yeah, let's go through the chat, everybody. Let's see how everybody is. So we've got Anthony Blaze is doing good. Poppy Missouri's here. Bravo Lima. PDX. I think we just confirmed, did we not? Well, I'm going to announce it. PDX is my first guest of 2023 on The Horseman. Yeah, you'll realise why, because tomorrow night we're going to do 2023 Milky style on The Horseman, but it's going to be all the guests from 2022. PDX is booked for the first Tuesday of February. He's going to be the first official new guest of the year. So that's going to be cool. He just confirmed with me today, so super excited for that. Let's keep going through. Christina Payne. Much love to everybody. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. LJ the Geek. Boo back. He goes boo. Lots of running around today, says Bravo. LJ says, hello, Milky, and all in chat, much love. I'm getting some pings in my ear. That means that we've got people at the door. We will let them in prominently. Umpty Scratch. Hello, my friend. LJ, I appreciate you. Thank you. He just told me that he's going to stay up a little bit longer so that he can support the stream and share it out and stuff, and then he's going to go for his nap. So I appreciate you taking a little bit of time to hang out, LJ. Thank you. And everybody, please send a fireball to Anthony Blaze. So I've got two people backstage. I just heard two beeps in my ear. These two people have something in common that not a lot of people in this chat does. They listen to the Milkman. Maybe not so much Headless because he'd already watched it beforehand, but they listened to the Milkman. They watched Game of Thrones. We, as a community and as a trio, however it is, are going to discuss our thoughts on season 8. And maybe just a general discussion. We'll see how the night goes, but hey, let's bring on some guests. So you all know my co-host, my man who goes on Christmas vacation to Florida, like weird flex, like very weird flex, but you know, it's cool. I live in Scotland where it rains 90% of the year, so I can live vicariously through his Instagram. He even had a dragon. It was a dragon on one of his IG videos. You got to check it out. His name is Headless Ned Stark. You all know him. You all love him. You are all subscribed to him, or I hope you at least are. And if you aren't, you should be. Let's bring him on.
What's up?
How you doing, buddy?
All right. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I know I threw this on you pretty late. I was like, I'm bored. Let's just do this.
No worries.
I was sat here looking at my phone, and I was like, why am I waiting until after midnight? Let's just get going. I knew you were busy, and I appreciate you taking the time. But dude, the work you've been doing behind the scenes, I'm not going to spoil too much, but the work you've been doing is fantastic, and I can't wait for everybody to see it. You know.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
No, honestly, it's good, and I said that in the message. You know, your passion and your love comes through, and you can see it clearly. So, and only I know what you're talking about, so it's quite cryptic right now.
What's up,
yeah, everyone. Dead Zone. That box today was quite cool. He opened a box that was a year old, and it was still over value. Nice. It was good to see. So yeah, how's the week going? I know we've already spoke this week. It's been hectic, hasn't it, with lives? So anything new from last time?
No, I did. I dropped my video today. I didn't get it finished last night, so I dropped it this morning. I'm working on another video for tomorrow. We have Horseman tomorrow. And we'll be back today with Willow, episode 7.
Busy.
Yep. And just been working for our January and February stuff. That's what I've been doing today. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Good though,
yeah,
man.
that's dude. Like I say, it's brilliant, and I just love the strides that you're taking now. You know. And today's video was good. What would you do if you were basically George Lucas? What would you do if Headless was George Lucas? So, yeah, it was a good video. I watched it as soon as I woke up. It was the first thing I seen on my phone, and I was like, oh, I'll watch that.
Yeah, and there's a
Very
lot more.
interesting.
There's a lot more I could have said. I was trying to keep it under 10 minutes. I think it was just over, but there's a lot, to say. But yeah, so
Yeah,
just
well, I'm
some
sure in the
thoughts
next couple
going.
of months we're going to be able to get a lot of those thoughts out. So,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think this is going to be a big year for Star Wars. There's a lot going on. Starting off the year with Bad Batch, and then we're into Mando is going to be awesome. And then we got Ahsoka, and we'll see what else comes up. Hopefully, we'll get some announcements on some. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get some announcements on these movies. I mean, the rumor is that they want to continue after the sequel trilogy. So I don't know what their plan is as far as bringing back like Rey and Finn and Poe, but we shall see. I'm interested. I don't mind them going forward, but I want to know like what's up with Grogu. Like he's 50, he can live to 800 or 900. I'm hoping that they use that character. That's kind of one of the things I said in my video was like, I mean, you have these characters that right now in Mandalorian are all alive, and they're going to be in Ahsoka. And one of the big points in my video was using the world between worlds, which I know you haven't seen Rebels, but it's almost a way to kind of time travel in a way. And I just feel like it's time, man. Let's redo this thing. Timothy
when
Zahn.
you were talking about World Before World, for some reason in my head I was thinking like the seen and unseen world of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's I mean, again,
is it anything like that?
What? No, not really. We'll have to sit down. We'll have to sit down and actually watch these like. So I mapped out like 20 Rebels episodes. So you have to sit there through all 7 seasons or all 6 seasons, wherever it is. And there's like 20. I think there's like 20 or 22 episodes where it really kind of. It's all the main plot, and it kind of goes right through it. It's like a speed run through it, and I've done it once before, and it, right. I mean, like you have all these theories that fans have come up with, and like Umpty's saying, like why not? It would actually make that character more interesting because Jar Jar is like the worst character. I mean, I cringe when I have to watch Phantom Menace just because of Jar Jar. Overall, I do like Phantom Menace, but I hate the Jar Jar parts. It's so over the top and annoying. But yeah, I mean, one of these days we'll have to do the Rebels thing because it's about a 9-hour watch, but you can literally knock out every episode. Because the episodes are only like 20 minutes long, and do like I think I want to say it's like 22 episodes throughout the 5 or 6 seasons, and it really will get you caught up on everything that you need to know for Ahsoka, especially. Because
I'm definitely going to check it out. I want to check all these stuff out. I've always avoided the anime stuff, and then the cartoony stuff. But I enjoyed. Was it Tales of the Jedi?
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that. So yeah, I'm definitely willing to go in.
Yeah, I mean,
Mystery Madness, Randy.
And as much as Clone Wars is important for the lore with Ahsoka, I mean, I could fill you in. I mean, you could literally watch the last 8 episodes of Clone Wars, and I can fill you in up to that point. And then just knowing what you saw in Tales of the Jedi, and then seeing what you see in Rebels, that will get you caught up. Yeah, I mean, it's because it is a lot. 7 seasons of a cartoon. I mean, you really gotta be committed. Like I watched it as it came out, so it was like 1 episode a week. It wasn't awful, but to like sit there and try to binge 7 seasons of that. I don't know. I wouldn't want to do it anymore, even though it's good. But there's so many filler episodes, But yeah, so I'm excited for Star Wars this year, man.
Thanks for being in, buddy. Quick Draw. How you doing? He said he stopped in to smash the like button. We appreciate it. Umpty only watches Menace for Jar Jar.
Of course you do, Umpty. It's where he gets all his Jackbox knowledge at is from Jar Jar.
Good evening, Nadia. Thank you for stopping in. So yeah, we do have another guest backstage. And I did say at the beginning of this intro we were going to talk about Season 8 Game of Thrones, and I know we're going to talk about Star Wars right now, but that's because that's content coming forward. And it's the year of Star Wars, 2023. Quick Draw says that I'm disappointed with Ahsoka. She came around after Luke did all the hard work.
Nah, but that's not true because, again, if you watch Rebels, you'll know that she was stuck in the world between worlds. That's the problem,
Okay,
and we don't know how she got out yet.
interesting. Yeah, I don't have any knowledge on that character at all, apart from what we've seen in Mando.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's what Dave Filoni was doing during Rebels, because that he knew he had to do something with Ahsoka and Ezra. He knew he had to do something with those characters, because like, why would they not have came and helped? So that's why that was created. And I'm telling you, that's why this is a great way to retcon those stupid sequel movies. Listen, if you want to have the same characters in them, great. I don't know if you're getting all those actors back, to redo it. But again, Timothy Zahn wrote that trilogy of books that basically took place right at the Return of the Jedi, and why they did not use those characters, I'll never understand it. I mean, I just don't understand it because it's so good.
Yeah, and now I feel like I'm getting payback for all of the times that I had knowledge on Game of Thrones and stuff, with book knowledge and all this stuff, because like you just mentioned a book trilogy for Star Wars. I have no idea.
No. I mean, I read that, and I read that when I was in high school, because Star Wars ended in '83. I was 7 years old at that point, and it's like all we had, man. I tell you what, and I know we want to get the Game of Thrones, and we have another guest, but like for me, when I was in high school, and even right outside of high school, because I was such a big fan of Star Wars, and I was so excited when it was coming back. But like in the '90s, like there was nothing going on, and I remember sitting on my computer and just going to StarWars.com and just reading the message boards, getting in chats with people, and then you could literally look up any character and just get a huge bio. It was almost like a Star Wars Wikipedia before there was Wikipedia, is what this was. Okay. And it was just really interesting. A lot of like your legends knowledge, and it all came from there. And I remember submitting questions to who was it? Was it Ralph McLaurin? And there was a couple other guys who would take questions and answer some every so often. And yeah, I mean it's amazing. Like when you're into something like that, because in the '90s we never thought we were getting Star Wars again. We never thought. Mark Hamill kept saying, "Oh no, I'm not playing Luke Skywalker anymore." Hans or Harrison Ford, he definitely said it. But yeah. Anyways,
interesting. No, I love your passion. I apologize to my other guest backstage because I probably should have brought her on earlier. But
yeah,
she's shaking her head down there, so she's cool. Guys, my other guest is Baby Ice. She listened to Milky when I went on for 12 months about Game of Thrones. I got her backstage. I tied her down. She probably liked that. And she watched Game of Thrones. Let's bring on the one and only Baby Ice and Donald Lomax.
So, Lomax. We were just chatting with Donald over there.
Nice. Any thoughts on Star Wars, Baby Ice, real quickly?
Love it.
You love it?
Yeah, I do. And see, I'm one of the strange people that like even the movies with Rey and them in it. I like those. Those are great for me. So,
yeah. Like I said, I've seen them, but I didn't follow the storyline. I didn't get into it like I'm a Game of Thrones fan, Yeah. So I definitely want to get into them and definitely deep dive and learn more and get all these secrets and knowledge thrown at me and be like, oh my God, what? I know the basics to call myself I wouldn't even call myself a fan. I genuinely wouldn't call myself a fan. So I'm going to become a fan throughout this process, probably. Everybody in the chat, thank you very much. I appreciate everybody. Umpty says, wait, she still ain't hungover? Nope, Baby Ice ain't hungover. I think all three of us have been drunk on stream, right? In the past year?
Yeah.
Or did Headless join a backstage and think it was live?
Well, I guess it was. Oh.
Inside joke, people. Inside joke.
Oh, too funny.
So
yeah, like I said at the beginning, we spoke about Game of Thrones. Headless, did you finish the show? I know you said you were one of.
Yeah, I did, and
give me your score. Give me your score for episode 8, season 8.
Season 8. Okay, so I would say everything up to that point is a 9 or a 10 for me. I still think, beside the last like 2 or 3 episodes of season 6. I think season 6 might be one of my least favorite. And I know I'm going off of there's no books there, so I don't know. I'm really curious to see the beginning of. Well, I guess it won't be the beginning of, because the way George R. Martin writes his books is all by characters. But I'd be interested to see exactly what goes on with Stannis and what goes on with his family, because in season 6 a bunch of bad things happen, and I don't know. It's a weird season 6 for me is a weird season. But Battle of the Bastards is in that, and I love it. And like I said, the last 3 episodes are fantastic. I do like Sansa's growth in it, but she kind of becomes irritating to me a little bit in that too. But season 8, I'm still gonna give it the lowest score. And I think when I first watched it, it was probably like a good 4 or 5 for me. I've now since bumped it up to a 7. So I mean, a significant bump. But I guess I understand a little bit more what they were trying to do. I still have a lot of issues with it, but one thing that you have to remember too is that so we got all mad because Daenerys went all crazy, right? And I think that's the biggest complaint, and because it really doesn't, to me, it does not fit her character. Although you can see in season 8, every episode you can see they're moving that direction after rewatching this. Because in season 7, I didn't think really she was moving that direction. So I think this was all a season 8 plot. But, we're supposed to feel sorry for all these people in King's Landing. But think back. Because, again, I just rewatched the entire series in like less than a month. These are all these motherfuckers that were just burning down. They're all rooting for Ned Stark to get his head chopped off. Screw them.
Yeah. And
you know what I'm saying?
We've seen House of the Dragon, so if you live in King's Landing, you take that risk that you're going to get flattened by a dragon or breathing on fire. If you go back to House of the Dragon, Meleys comes through the floorboard with the dragon and kills loads of innocent people just for standing around in King's Landing. So moral of the story is live in Westeros, but don't live in King's Landing.
Right.
Now, granted, you got kids getting burned and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You just live in Dawn. You just move to Dawn.
Move to Dawn, that's right.
Big Easy's House of Pops / Caravan of Craziness and Collectibles is in the chat. How you doing, buddy? He says, what do we have here? Dude, we're just talking about that show called Friends. Yeah, you're probably not interested in it. No, we're talking about season 8 Game of Thrones and how good or bad it was. Headless just scored it like a 7 after previously, when he first watched it, scored it a 4. Which is understandable. He's now got over the wounds that were probably given to him on that night. Baby Ice, what would you score it real quick?
I would probably.
How many times have you watched the series? Series 8.
Season 8 only once, but I would give it a solid 8 because I liked it.
Fungo. He really thought it was Friends.
Dude, I already even know if I can name the characters from Friends.
I've never watched an entire episode of Friends, and I never ever will.
Yeah, I got Rachel.
The worst, most overrated TV show in the history of television.
It's so darn cheesy too, especially watching it now.
And the same with Big Bang. Loved it when it was originally coming out, and it was new episodes. Cannot watch another episode ever again because I've seen it, and it's mind-numbingly terrible after I've seen it all the way through. Same with How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, whoa.
I love it. I watched it all the way through, but I cannot go back and watch another episode.
Dude, it's so good. It's How I Met Your Mother is like probably my favorite comedy of all time. And I'll tell you why. Because what they do in some of those episodes, like you get canceled if you put that on TV now. And that's why it's so darn good.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. And Fungo, I see you.
I watched that thing all the way through like 7 or 8 times.
We're going to get you on a live stream someday, Fungo. We're going to send you a link and we'll get you to come up and talk with us. Because we've seen you everywhere for at least a month, it feels like.
We're going to talk Rachel, and we're going to talk. God, who are the other? Phoebe is one? I think Phoebe.
Rachel, Phoebe, Monica,
Ross,
Chandler.
Jesus, you know more than I do.
Oh, because it's overrated.
Phoebe, Rachel, Monica, and who's the guys?
Ross, Chandler, Joey.
Chandler, and Joey.
Joey, that's right.
How you doing? That dude.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah.
Anthony says never seen one episode. Anthony, I'm with you. I'm the same. I've probably watched one or two, like when it's been in the same room, but never sat down and physically sat to watch it. F cancel culture, says LJ. It can kiss my butt, he says. I agree. F cancel culture. I agree, because it's now just these teenagers growing up in the new millennial world that feel like if you say something that offends them, they have a right to bring you down from social media. It's like, where are these people's backbones gone? That's what I don't get. I don't think this day and age and new teenagers are growing up with a backbone. And I apologize to any new teenagers in the chat, but that's just how I feel as a boomer. I'd call myself a boomer. But yeah, so Baby Ice, you gave it an 8, season 8.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I agree, Donald. You can't say anything
because
anymore.
John lived, and that's all I cared about.
Because John lived, and that's all you cared about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I scored season 8 a 7.5.
Right in between us.
I disagree with Headless saying that Daenerys was never seen to be on that path. It was always foreshadowed that she was going to do just as bad as her father. It was always going to...
It may have been foreshadowed, but I don't think they did a very good job.
They didn't do a very good job, but I think it was justified within the storylines to understand that she had that in her. I've heard stories that it was never her and that it was Bran walking into her dragon, because apparently from the point when you hear the bells, you never see Daenerys' face. You only see a dragon.
You're right. Yeah, you only see the dragon flying around. Yeah, I was gonna say in that episode, she's barely in it.
Yeah, you see her when she hears the bells, and she gets all mad, and then you only see the perspective of the dragon. So it's understood in laws and people talking about it that maybe Bran walked into the dragon and did that.
See, I would love to see a continuation like that, but it sucks because Daenerys is dead. That's the thing.
But she can come back. If Jon can come back how many times, and Beric Dondarrion can come back how many times because of the Lord of Light, then why can't Daenerys?
I guess we need to go find the Red Priestess that was left
Ashai.
over.
That's where Drogon flew off to. He flew off to Ashai.
Right.
With Daenerys' body. And he could have took her to the Red Priestess, which was the lady we seen in season 3 with the gold mask. But we never see her face.
Do you think that's who that was, though? We don't even know who that was, really, or do we? Or maybe in the books, I guess.
I had her name. Yeah, we know who she is in the books. She's a mysterious character, but I can't remember her name right now.
But is she a priestess?
Yeah.
Oh, she is. So there's actually 4 then. Because I just did that video, and there's 3 of them that were shown in the show.
Mm-hmm. What was Dumpty saying? Matthew McConaughey has said he was wasted on him mind when he was filming Friends.
I didn't even know.
But Matthew McConaughey was in Friends.
Oh, there were so many guests.
Yeah, it's probably
in that. Brad Pitt, Matthew McConaughey. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank here.
Fungo says he watched Friends until season 3 only, and then they removed it from Netflix. Fungo, reach out on Instagram. There's a thing out there called Milky Flicks, and it's actually really good. Reach out. I can get people to give me 5-star reviews if I need, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's only $99.99 a month.
No, all it is a subscription to my channel. That's all you got to do. It's just subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yeah. So, give me off the bat, Headless, as quick as you can, one thing that you loved about season 8.
One thing I loved about it. I liked.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, you want me to give you one thing?
Yeah, I was more aiming to see if you could, how quick you could pull it. Like,
yeah.
And I think you failed.
Yeah, I did. I don't know if I really liked any of it. I guess, I mean, I do like the battle with the White Walkers in I think it's episode 3. I just don't like the way that ended, and I don't like the way it ended for a couple of the characters.
What Was there much of a battle with the White Walkers, though?
What'd you say?
Was there really much of a battle with the White Walkers, or was it just try to prevail until the Night King got to Bran?
It's true, but it's still good. It's still good battle,
Just
even though it's a little dark. I mean,
they just
he's
annihilated everything, didn't they? There wasn't really much of a fight.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool though. Like, I really like the scene where they light the trenches, which they make such a big deal about, but then the White Walkers figure out how to cross it anyways. I thought that I always liked that part a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We got the scene between Jon and Night King. It could have been much better, but I still like the stare down and him rushing, try to go get him before all the whites are brought back.
Mm-hmm.
But then that kind of gets ruined. But I mean, that episode is fine for the most part. I think it's pretty good. It's probably one of the better episodes of the season.
One of my favorite episodes of the season.
Yeah, and I just don't like the way it ends.
Yeah. The fighting has nothing to do with why I like it. You asked me the same question, fire back at me, Milky. What's the one thing that you love about season 8? And I can answer instantly. It's the music.
Well, the music too. Yeah, I mean the music in the entire series is fantastic.
But I have listened purely to season 8, and season 8 soundtrack is the best of all of them. I personally think it has so much more grandeur connected to it, and it just feels brilliant. Headless, no, not Headless. Sorry, LJ let us know that he meant Matthew Perry, and that he is off to bed. And have a good night, everybody. Thank you, LJ. We appreciate you. We love you.
All right, love you,
See
LJ.
you soon.
Sweet dreams.
So, Baby Ice, what's your favorite scene or favorite part of the
thing?
episode?
My favorite part is when Jon and what were they called? The Northern or the free people, when they were all walking back, on the other side of the wall, because I think Jon was always meant to be there or stay there at least. Because once he met Ingrid and, he just seemed so much happier, and, he was friends with the redheaded guy. I can't remember his name.
Tormund.
Yeah. I mean, he just had a very closer bond, it seemed, with the free folk than he did his own people. So I just think he turned into like the new Mans Raya.
Mans Raider, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. Jon really never had anybody to connect to throughout the entire show, because, he was the bastard son of Ned Stark, and then we find out his true parentage going forward, and Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen, all that kind of stuff. Again, guys, if you're here and you haven't seen Game of Thrones and you are offended that you get spoilers, deal with it. It's 2023, and I've been talking about Game of Thrones for a long time on YouTube, so if I'm spoiling things for you now, it's pretty much tough shit, and that's the way it's going to have to be for going forward. I think can't hold anything back, because it's out there. But if you're not going to watch it, you're not going to watch it. But I would appreciate it if you did, because it will change your life. Believe me, it will change your life. So yeah, okay, let's flip it. So I said music. Baby Ice said one of her favorite things was Jon being in the north and being with the free folk and feeling like he was part of a belonging. And Headless's would be the White Walker fight and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's flip it. Baby Ice, what's the worst thing that you hate about season 8?
When Jaime left Brienne.
When he went back to his beloved sister.
Yep. That broke my heart for Brienne.
That's the one thing that sticks out to you for the entire season.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because he
Why?
was
Because
such
it broke your heart.
pathway. He was getting better, and he came back and he was keeping the word that he was going to fight with them, and then to give it all up and go back, and that was just horrible.
They met on set.
Yep, I did.
Kit and Rose met on set in that cave. I want you to take me to that cave, Rose. I want you to touch me down there. Have you never been touched down there, Jon Snow? Oh, I love Rose Lee. Like, she's amazing. So yeah, Headless. A quick fire. One thing you hate about the season.
I absolutely hate Euron Greyjoy and how they had to make a new strong character because they just got rid of, Roose and what's his face? Oh my God, Ramsey. You know, they just eliminated all those guys, and so they had to come up with some new guy, and he has all of these scorpions on his ships, and they're around the corner, and they shoot down Rhaegal, which is the most ridiculous thing ever. It was horrible, and then all of a sudden they can't hit Drogon at all. Okay, it's so dumb. Like, they literally did that just because they're like, well, we can't just have two dragons because there's no chance for the other side. That's literally why they did that. There's many, like, at least the Night King one made sense, you know, the way he turned Viserion or Viserion. I don't know. I hated that. I watched it like twice, and I'm like, these arrows are coming out of nowhere, and then she comes around the corner, and there's this huge rock, and they're firing over this rock, and then you can see all the scorpions are just pointing straight. I mean, I don't know if it's horrible editing or I don't know.
Yeah. If you put the camera on the dragon's head, you should easily be able to see the boats in the water to the left.
Yeah, if they're shooting those arrows at them, she'd see them.
Yeah.
And not only one time does he get hit; he gets hit 3 times. It's horrible. It's just horrible.
Donald, you said Hodor or Hold Door. Are you saying he's your favorite or your worst thing of the season? Please clarify.
Well,
that's one of the most. Yeah, but there's the whole show, the whole Hodor storyline kills me. Like, yeah, kills me. Umpty says if Jon Snow can come back to life, so can Ygritte. So can Ygritte. Can you know? Kit wants her in the new sequel. So Kit was actually asked at the LA Comic-Con very recently if there would be any interest for Jon to have another love interest within the series, and he said that he was open to that idea when he was asked that question in the panel. So maybe not Ygritte, but maybe there might be somebody else down the line. And I'm telling you now, and I don't even want to bring this to life, but I think it might be fucking Sansa.
You told me that
to reunite the realms, because she's got the North. To reunite the realms under one kingdom. Jon Snow is king of the entire thing. I genuinely think that that's where they're going to go.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even know if Sansa
Remember George R.R. Martin's books originally had him in a love interest relationship with Arya. Jon and Arya at the beginning of the series were in a love interest in the books. So I'm just saying.
Now that I would see more. Yeah. I could understand that more than Sansa, though. Because they were always close when she was younger, you know, and even...
I don't think it's about love. I don't think it's about sexual intentions. I think it's purely about bringing the realm back together.
That's what I'm talking about. Because he was always very protective of her when she was younger. I think Arya would make more sense in that regard than Sansa.
Yeah. I just think it's Sansa because she now owns the North. You know?
Yeah.
I just think that the more I was watching this season, and especially at the end of the final episode, and not really even understanding what Bran and the Three-Eyed Raven, what this thing's all about, really, you know, I think it would be great if we found out that Bran was the bad guy all along, and somehow when he fell, something happened, and then I don't know, because I'd like that idea of him warging into the dragon, and you know, but the problem with that theory is that Daenerys, it's not like she says anything like that at all. I mean, and it's not like she
gets off the dragon and makes the claim. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only issue with that. Unfortunately, because I do
the
like
speech
that
at the top of the steps. Yeah, the speech. At the top of the steps.
Yeah, it's the only tough thing is, but it would be pretty cool because, like, you know, then you could say, okay, well, he pushed Jon away because he doesn't want Jon anywhere near him while he tries to do what he wants to do, is the new king or whatever, and that's why he takes Jon and says, you got to go all the way back down as far away from me as possible. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how they could play that. It's just the problem is with Daenerys. That's the biggest issue with that theory. But it would be interesting.
Yeah, there's a well-known YouTuber out there that does Game of Thrones content. He's got a big channel. Me and Headless, I think I spoke about him quite recently, actually, about something that I'm not happy with. I'm not going to mention any names, but yeah, he did I think it was an 8-hour live stream or an 8-hour video, and he basically did his entire version of season 9,
Yeah.
how he would do it, and he had a lot of brand things in there. I think his story was like the Three-Eyed Raven was really the bad guy, and the Three-Eyed Raven corrupted Bran. And that was what was going on, and really Bran was the bad guy in all of it. And we see through his versions of season 9 how Bran corrupts his Night King's men and all this kind of stuff. So it's definitely an interesting storyline. But
what did he say about Daenerys then?
But he's the same. He believes that she'll come back with the lady from Ashai.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if Bran is the, so does he think that he warged into the dragon too, or no?
He does believe that, yes.
So what? So
but
what
he
is?
Doesn't. But again, he doesn't answer that fact that you just brought up, the fact that she gets off the dragon and makes a terrible speech about women, children, men. From Winterfell to Dawn.
Yeah, and it wouldn't make sense to even say that he warged into her like he does Hodor, because when he does all that stuff, their eyes change and
we didn't see that. Yeah, the point is we don't see her face.
Yeah. And even when she's talking to Jon, it's not like she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't really do that. I don't know what happened to Drogon. It's not like she was saying all that stuff to Jon.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. It's a good theory, but I think it's just hard to...
I think it's a good theory, but it's poor original writing to be able to go down that path. And, Dan and David they are always going to be hated in my eyes.
Yeah.
I will never enjoy anything that they do. And am I right by saying that they left Game of Thrones to then go do the worst 3 Star Wars movies that we had?
No, they were supposed to go do their Star Wars movie, and then they've since I think they turned it down eventually, or they were going to, and something came up, and they decided not to do it.
So they fucked up Game of Thrones and still didn't do what they were going to do originally.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they're doing now.
I don't care what they're doing now. Yeah. They can make a new episode of, I don't know. I can't even think of anything that bad. Air Spider. Good seeing you, my friend. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Always chatting with that dude. I'm probably every couple of days with messaging each other. Great dude. Awesome chat. Air Spider, what did you think of Game of Thrones if you saw it? And anybody else in the chat as well, please let me know your score from 0 to 10 for season 8. So how would you have changed the storyline, Headless? What one key factor would you have changed?
I would not have made Daenerys go crazy. I don't have a problem with her burning down the Red Keep and all that. Another thing, now that I'm thinking about it, the thing I probably do hate the most is that Jon doesn't say bye to Ghost. So stupid. So
really irks you, isn't it? It really irks you, doesn't it?
It's so irritating. It's so dumb. Real quick though, they said Dan and Dave they signed a massive deal to make projects at Netflix.
To make what?
They're doing projects for Netflix.
Oh.
But there's no they haven't said anything about what yet.
As long as they stay away from Stranger Things, I'm happy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, do not ruin Stranger Things.
So season 8 for me would have been, the first 2 episodes were a little bit slower, but they were just, kind of getting there, I guess. There's more they could have done. They rushed season 6 or season 8 so much, all of a sudden, when we talked about this before, where in the first couple of seasons, it takes them 3, 4, 5 episodes to move to a different location. And then all of a sudden, season 7 and season 8, people are just warping or using what is it from Star Trek, beaming up or whatever? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, beaming up, Scotty.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Beam me up. They're using these portals or something. I don't know, whatever. But I would definitely have. I definitely want to have Melisandre do something. She comes back and she lights a couple fires and then she walks out and dies. I thought that was stupid. I like the fire thing, which is fine, but it would have been nice for her to do something else. She's like, oh, I gotta go back to Westeros just so I can die. Okay, why? Can we get some type of explanation? There's nothing. So I hated that part. I really wasn't a fan of Gendry and Arya hooking up. That was weird. I mean, I always felt like he was like 10 years older than her. I mean,
I agree. I think it was purely to age Arya up.
Yeah, it was weird because like in my eyes, I was seeing them as like 30 and 20, I guess at that point.
But Dan and Dave have got a weird fantasy for sex. You know, they made up a complete rape scene that should never have happened with Sansa and with what's his name. They did it with Arya and Gendry. They are weirdos and creeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely not have had Arya kill Night King. I would definitely would have had a showdown. Now, if you want to do a showdown with Jon and Night King, and maybe then if Night King has Jon in a position and Arya comes through, then okay, I'm good with that. But like everyone for like 3 seasons wanted to see that. I mean, they never even cling swords once. It's so stupid what they did. Like I said, if you want to have Arya be the hero because she went through all the training, blah blah blah. Even though she already got to kill how many people on her little list? I mean, she killed the Freys.
She killed everybody.
She killed everybody. The Freys, right? She killed what's his face? The dude who likes the little girls. What's his name? I'm not thinking of his name right now.
The guy that killed the butcher's boy.
Yeah, what's the dude's name? I'm forgetting his name right now.
Meryn Trump.
Trump. Yeah. So she kills. So I mean, she got a lot of good kills there already. I would have preferred for Jon just to take out the Night King, and then what I would have really liked is when after that fight, Arya goes with the Hound to head back to King's Landing. The Hound wants the mountain, and Arya's going back to kill Cersei. And I would have liked something like where maybe the Hound just gets killed by the mountain, something like that, and then somebody else takes out the mountain. I mean, I wouldn't have had a problem with that.
They had a Harry Potter and Voldemort ending.
I know.
Like Harry Potter grabs Voldemort and says, "We started this together, Tom. Let's end it." And then he jumps off the mountain.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, and you know what too? It's so dumb because like I was watching the after show of that to see what they said about that scene, and they're like, "Well, we always knew that he would have to die into the flames." And I'm like, "Well, just have to be flames as he jumps out the window." I mean, okay. I guess that was lucky. I mean, it's so dumb. It was horrible.
He didn't die in flames. He died of smashing his head on the concrete.
Right, exactly right. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, yeah, he just smashed his head open. That's why he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And the mountain probably should have been dead already because the mountain was smashing his head. Why was his head not popping like a raisin? I don't know, whatever. But
was the Night King the former commander of the Night's Watch? Yes, he was. Most of the Night's army were former watchmen.
Wait, he was?
Yeah.
I thought the Children of the Corn stabbed. That was a commander of the guy they stabbed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was in the Night Watch. Yeah, he was in the Night. The Children of the Forest. Yeah.
That was a little bit weird. All that too. So why do they even do that? That's the other thing I don't understand about it. Like, why did the children even do that? Like, why are they stabbing this dude for no reason?
Yeah. I'm hoping we get explanations to it.
I just never understood why they even actually did that, but whatever. I would definitely have had Ghost be in that season the entire time. But again, they say it's because of the budgets. All right, whatever.
Well, no, they were all completely CGI, weren't they? So,
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Ghost is barely even in. Like, it's funny watching it. Ghost is barely even in it in seasons 6, 7, and 8. Like, I think maybe 3 scenes total.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it, because he's not there during Battle of the Bastards, and they had mentioned something about like it was again the budget. It was too much for him to actually be there with Jon, so they didn't even put him in there, and it's unfortunate because in season 1, like why was Ghost in season 1 then? Is it because they didn't have dragons yet? I mean, I guess. I mean, they did say that they said the budget for the direwolves were a lot of money, which is why I think a lot of them got killed so quickly.
Yeah, it's sad. I like the direwolves. I like all of the, it's funny because you don't like Jar Jar, and it's the same principle. It's just CGI.
Yeah.
But it's funny because we get connected to these characters, and then I can't watch anime. I've said many times I struggle to watch it, but yet I fall in love with these completely computer generated images on a screen that I love, like computer generated things on the screen that I adore. But I will slag off anime any day. You know, it's just one of those things. But yes, breaking it down in a nutshell, you would. How would you change the season? In a nutshell, you would just.
I think there's a lot of the characters I would have had them taking different paths to get to the end.
Okay.
I agree with Baby Ice. I think that Jamie went through that whole redemption thing and then he just goes back. I thought that was horrible. Like, if anything, go back and kill your sister. Do something right. Because, I mean, you know, I couldn't stand that either. I did not like the fact that Euron Greyjoy actually...
Yeah, Euron, you said, yeah.
Euron is all... He's just a terrible character. I don't know why... I don't know. It was just terrible. It's like they literally... Like, is he in the book? He's not in the books, is he? Or maybe he's mentioned. I don't know.
No.
Yeah. He's not even in the books at all right now then. So, interesting. You know, the other question I had... So that was Dan and Dave completely right there.
Yeah, so I want to question to you. Do you think Dan and David would have had prior knowledge to House of the Dragon coming out? Because I purely only see Arya in the killing blow of the Night King because she is in possession of the Cat's Paw dagger. No matter who was in possession of that Cat's Paw dagger would have been the person to kill the Night King. Because I believe that they had the connection.
Well, couldn't Valyrian Steel kill him?
Yeah, because that's what the dagger is. It's Valyrian Steel.
Right, so Jon has Longclaw.
But Jon Snow slaying the Night King, how do you then connect House of the Dragon to Game of Thrones? Like we have done with season 1, and how successfully they did it with season 1 by just.
You're talking about just the Cat's Paw. I see. What you're saying.
Or you had the Cat's Paw dagger, or you killed the Night King because she had the dagger.
Yeah, but they do talk about. I don't know. I don't know if the Cat's Paw is really all that important to who kills the Night King. I think the Cat's Paw was made because of the prophecy. I don't necessarily think that the Cat's Paw had to be the one to kill the Night King.
Well, yeah, the prophecy is that the Targaryen will sit on the throne when the White Walkers come, and that's what it is. I genuinely believe that the Cat's Paw is the prophecy that states that this will kill the Night King. This will end the war. Even though what's the word I'm looking for? Even though the metaphor connected to it is, it has to be a Targaryen on the throne. I believe it's this dragon because Bran makes sure that she gets it.
How does Littlefinger get it, anyways? Does he ever explain how he actually gets it?
It is. I believe it's stolen. I believe he steals it. Baby Ice, how would you change season 8? I'm just going to look up on some stuff what Headless has just asked me.
In a nutshell, I would have preferred to see Jamie, actually live and then I'm trying to think here. I definitely would have liked to see Jon battle the Night King.
Yeah.
Because that's what they were setting up for the whole time. And you just no. I would have liked to see Theon live. Because especially after all that torture,
he deserved it.
And,
he's the one character in the show that deserves to get to the end.
Yeah. Or at least die maybe protecting like Sansa or somebody. I mean, no. Did he really protect Bran? He was shooting some arrows and then he ran at the Night King.
Right.
No, another horrible death. Just dumb the way they ended that.
Yeah.
And I definitely did not like the fact that they made Bran the king.
Why do you think I've come all this way? You smarmy, arrogant, little motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like Drogon burned down the throne. So he burnt down the throne so we could have a disability ramp for Bran. Because we didn't need the chair no more because he had a wheelchair. So it was just a disability ramp.
Yeah.
It's just my sick, twisted jokes.
They could have been, I would have loved to see Tyrion become That would have been my choice.
Okay. Umpty says the way Game of Thrones was written makes it hard to wrap up loose ends because Martin doesn't outline and know what is going to happen. He develops it as he goes, so that's why the notebook has come out. The assassin tried to kill Bran that had the dagger. Yeah, and that was given to him. Yeah, but Littlefinger gave the assassin the dagger. Littlefinger was behind the assassination of Bran.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying it's funny, man. I'm like, I've read like 6 or 7 different things already. There's really no clear answer. They're saying that Ned had it. Where is that? It said Ned had it on his table in episode 4, on his desk in the Tower of the Hand. So this is when he's in King's Landing, and then he says, Littlefinger now has the dagger, and says he likely took it from Ned after betraying him in the throne room. So what is that, like episode 6 or 7?
Yeah, doesn't he tell Caitlin he lost it in a bet to Tyrion? Or he won it in a bet with Tyrion or something? He tells her.
He won it in a bet?
I think he tells...
Well, how did Ned have it? Ned had it. Well, Ned had it because the assassin came. See, that's what I don't understand. Because like the assassin had it, so somebody gave it to him. So who actually gave the assassin the blade? I
believe Littlefinger gave the blade to the assassin. Littlefinger was behind the assassination of Bran.
And then when the dog killed the assassin, Catelyn had it.
Yeah, and then she gave it back to... She showed Littlefinger it, and Littlefinger said it was his. He won it in a bet from Tyrion.
But that's also when Ned was there. Because she came down to King's Landing, and Littlefinger took her to the whorehouse, brothel, whatever. And
that he lost it in a bet to Tyrion. So no, I think he said he lost it in a bet to Tyrion, and that then cemented in Catelyn's eyes that it was Tyrion that tried to assassinate Bran.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he did. He tried to make it look like it was Tyrion's.
Yeah.
Well, they say too. It says before Littlefinger had it, Robert actually had the dagger.
Okay.
Because they said they show Robert with the dagger during the attorney's feast as he displays it with glee since Jaime lost, because he was happy about that.
I'll do some digging. It's a video I can do this week.
Robert Tywin mentioned the hunting knife Robert used to love. The dagger was in Robert's wagon train when he visited Winterfell. So he had it in Winterfell. After Bran fell and was crippled, Robert made a remark that a quick and painless death would be mercy. Joffrey, hungry for his father's approval, gave the dagger to a cat's paw to kill Bran. I don't understand what that means.
He gave the dagger cat's paw to kill. It's probably just...
Cat carried the dagger to King's Landing, where Ned took possession of it. Littlefinger then took it from Ned. So yeah, I mean it's confusing. Like this person's saying that Joffrey's the one who gave it to somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, all I remember is that Littlefinger gave it to the assassin, and then Catelyn got it from that, and she gave it to Ned.
The Valyrian steel blade, most commonly referred to as the cat's paw dagger, has become a significant object in the lore of Game of Thrones. It was a weapon that we first saw in the hands of the hired cat's paw assassin as he attempted to assassinate a comatose Bran Stark in Season 1, an act that would spark a war of the Five Kings. It was also a weapon that ended up the Great War against the White Walkers when in the final season Arya Stark used it to kill the Night King. The dagger, with a hilt made from dragon bone, pops up again in Game of Thrones prequel House of the Dragon, in the possession of King Viserys Targaryen, played by Paddy Considine. In episode 4, the Protector of the Realm reveals just how important the relic actually is, something that teasers for the show have no more than hinted at. So apparently it went... So Aegon the Conqueror made it, and then it went to Aenor Targaryen, who we didn't know. Aenor was the Dragon Lord of Old Valyria, in the city of Essos. It was Aenor's daughter, Daenerys, the Dreamer, who had the vision, the dragon dream, that foretold the destruction of their city. Whilst holding this dagger, she had this dream. 12 years later, the dream came to pass when a chain of volcanoes erupted. And they're trying to find out where else it goes from there. The dagger seems to have always been connected to the prophecy and a pivotal events in the history. So yeah, it doesn't actually explain in this article where it goes.
Well, now I'm really confused because if it was a Targaryen artifact,
that's what it is. Yeah.
How did a Baratheon get it?
Because all the Targaryens end up dying in House of the Dragon.
Yeah, the Baratheons take over the throne from the Targaryens.
You got to remember,
right,
from House of the Dragon, there's loads of Targaryens. When we get to Game of Thrones, there's only one or two or three, technically.
Okay.
So yeah, somewhere down the line, all the Targaryens are going to just probably lose it.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to get picked up somewhere down the line.
But it's right here. It does say it's also theorized that Joffrey Lannister has stolen it from King Robert and orchestrated the assassination attempt to impress his dad. The simplest answer, however, is that Littlefinger hired the assassin and gave the assassin the dagger to frame Tyrion. So I think somehow he ended up getting it, and so maybe he knew that Robert had brought it, and he was trying to frame Tyrion basically. But then there's the other theory of Joffrey trying to impress his father. So, so apparently it was with Robert, and one of the two, took it. So,
right.
Because we've seen in House of the Dragon that he's now passed it on to Rhaenyra.
Mm-hmm.
So Rhaenyra now has it in House of the Dragon, and her father's dead. So we need to see from there where it goes. Like, who's she going to give it to? If anything,
Yeah.
We'll see. And OT is saying that there's an article there saying who had it before Arya. Yeah, we kind of figured out that we know we don't know where it went from the end of House of the Dragon, which we don't know, to the start of Game of Thrones when Littlefinger has it. That's where we're trying to figure out, how does Littlefinger get it? Because he's not Baratheon, he's not Targaryen.
Well, no, because Robert had it. So they're just saying that when they went to Winterfell, he knew where it was, that he knew where Robert kept it. He took it from Robert and then gave it to the assassin. And then
okay.
But
Joffrey
again,
took it.
I mean, that's one theory. But the funny thing is like, then why do they keep saying that Tyrion?
I've never heard that theory in my life.
Yeah, because when I get it now. So when Littlefinger's talking to Catelyn and he's like, "Oh, it's my dagger," and then she's like, "Well," it's like, "Well, how did you get it?" He's like, "I won it because I won it on a bet with Tyrion that Jaime, because Jaime lost the jousting contest. The problem with that is that we know that's a lie, because why would Tyrion ever bet against his brother? Because that's what Littlefinger was implying."
Yeah,
and then after that, the assassin, then Catelyn took the dagger back to King's Landing where Ned was, to show him, and then Littlefinger got it back because Ned had it on his table. And then when he went against, or when he betrayed Ned, that's how he got it back. And then he had it basically the whole time until he gave it to Bran, then Bran gave it to Arya. Because we really don't see that dagger for like 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't.
If not more.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, as the dagger doesn't even appear in George R. R. Martin's Fire and Blood book, it's difficult to ascertain for sure what happened in House of the Dragon. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a massive thing in the book. And now that we've been talking about this dagger for a good 20 minutes, I'm currently looking online to actually buy it. You can actually buy replicas on the internet, like real.
Oh Lord!
Is it steel? Is it steel or plastic? It's steel.
No, steel.
What are they
charging? It's a Harumi. It's a Harumi blade.
Harumi blade. Is it? So it's not a Game of Thrones. It's like not like official whatever.
It doesn't say. No, it doesn't say official. It's a Game of Thrones cat's paw dagger of Arya. £70, so I'd say what, $90.
Jeez, man, that's crazy. That's how much I spent on my
you get a nice little
long claw.
Nice little board, and
That red thing's that bright. It looks a little bright.
it does look a little bright. Yeah, it was just the first thing I seen when I googled it. I'm not probably going to buy that one. I'm going to look. But yeah, I want some swords. I want some stuff on the wall. Well, then I should probably wait till I move to America, because how am I going to get out playing with all those?
And it's probably cheaper.
But a lot of your stuff, because when I ordered mine overseas, it was way cheaper than in America, because the guy actually made it for me from scratch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've got Longclaw, right?
Yeah, with the pommel and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, Longclaw's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
The cat's pod dagger's history only goes back as far as when King Robert Baratheon won the dagger from Littlefinger during the tourney for Prince Joffrey's name.
yeah, that's what I think. I think that's what Headless was kind of referencing earlier.
So wait, so he's saying that Robert won. So Robert won the dagger from Littlefinger, but then we still
Because
have
the whole point was to get the Starks and the Lannisters fighting, and Littlefinger did all of that.
Mm-hmm.
He was the
It's
reason
unclear
they
how
started
Littlefinger
fighting.
acquired the dagger. Like happened after Robert's rebellion, before Game of Thrones, as a result of post-battle looting in the Iron Keep. Okay.
So
yeah, we haven't had the story of Robert's rebellion yet. That is something that I'm hoping HBO pick up. But with the recent news that we've just had with HBO's parent sister company being bought by a different company, a lot of shows have been put on the shelf. Please don't fall for the hype and believe that Jon Snow is being cancelled. Jon Snow isn't being cancelled, and that was never made to be known that it was the Jon Snow show. We're most likely going to lose Nymeria, 10,000 ships. We're most likely probably going to lose Robert's Rebellion. There's a couple of other shows, but Jon Snow show is, as far as I'm aware, still going ahead.
Don't do that to me.
No, a lot of people have sent me stuff like, Milky, HBO just cancelled all these shows, and I'm like, not once does it say it's Jon Snow. Not once.
Right.
Does it reference that? Okay, I'm back. Let's talk Hobbits. Big Easy. More than welcome to come up and talk Hobbits with us. I challenge you to even come up here and tell me your favourite Hobbit by name, and don't just say Frodo.
Oh man.
So yeah, overall, season 8 got better after rewatching. I know Baby Ice hasn't seen it, but you actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it better at the second time, but I still have some of the same issues, but I can understand a little bit more of why Daenerys does what she does, because I think she's just so pissed off because the dragon died, and she's just, she hates Cersei so much that she just lets her emotions take over, I think, and she's like just destroy everything, and she doesn't really think about what she's actually doing at the time. Because you can see, like, John is just, like, freaked out. He's like, what in the world is going on, But,
Favorite death of season 8?
That always threw me off about Daenerys, because she was always this loving, nurturing, seemed to care about the people she was around, and, she freed all these people, and then you mass murder a whole city.
She was a tyrant with tits.
Well, how do you do that?
She was a tyrant with tits. I don't know why everybody loves her. I have such polarizing thoughts on that woman. Like,
all the way through the whole show, she earned all this respect for freeing people and giving people their freedom, and she, with the decisions she was making, and and then all of a sudden, poof, she just.
That's down, David. I get that. Yeah. Bravo finally got on the bus.
Wheels on the
He's
bus.
been waiting that long.
There you go, Bravo.
Bravo, in the time that you waited for a bus to turn up, in season 8, everybody managed to travel from King's Landing to Winterfell quicker than you waited for a bus to turn up today, my friend. They had jetpacks.
They were friends with the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That's when the jetpack was invented. True story.
Yeah.
That was how quick they got around. Like in season 1, it takes them 7 episodes to get down the road.
Yeah.
Literally down the road. But hey, they do the entire continent in 1 episode at the end.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. Favorite death of season 8, Baby Ice? Because we all love deaths. Yeah, we all love deaths. That's what Game of Thrones is about.
Cersei.
Cersei was your favorite death.
Yeah.
Okay, Headless.
Like favorite is I was happy or just
favorite death. Don't have to be happy, just your favorite death.
Well, Grey Worm didn't die, so I can't use that. I don't know.
Mine's Miss Sunday.
I was actually about to say that because it's like the best one. And then
I
didn't really like that character either.
That was a horrible death.
That's why it was my best. That was why it was the best one.
Yeah.
That should never happen though.
Yeah, it should have happened because it made Daenerys flip.
I know.
Although I like Euron's too, even though that whole fight should have happened, it was weird.
That whole fight on the beach was like you might as well took the clothes off and started cuddling.
Yeah. I mean, how is Jaime still alive? He's been walking around. He got stabbed twice in the kidneys. Come on, man. Whatever.
Okay, favorite death of the entire show. Every season.
Joffrey.
Yeah, Joffrey.
It was the most shocking one. Like it was the most surprising one to me. I'm like, it was like random, like episode 2 or 3. Like you definitely weren't expecting it. I mean, the Red Wedding obviously is probably the big one, but
Ramsay for me.
See, you knew that.
I just hate that Sansa did it. I just hate that Sansa did it.
I just think the Joffrey one just because it was so unexpected. Like, especially after coming off of the Red Wedding, you think that they're going to be like, it's going to be a party time for the Lannisters, and then boom. That in the Red Wedding.
No, if Milky ever gets married, I will be playing the Reigns of Castamere at my wedding. Be warned. I am not fucking joking. There will be that played at my wedding.
I think your whole wedding would be Game of Thrones themed.
Oh hell yeah! I'd fucking marry a dragon.
Dragon.
Yeah, the cake will be a dragon. You'll have ice sculptures as dragons, White Walkers. You know.
If Donkey can marry a dragon, then so can I. You know.
Donkey.
Yeah. This is my swamp, Donkey.
Yeah.
There we go. We should do a breakdown of Shrek one day. That's probably better than some of season 8.
Do it.
I think I've got some buttons we can press to press some things.
Yeah, I know. Winter is coming and there's dragons and zombies on the way.
This one.
No way. You're a pretty rad dude, John Yellow Snow.
Yeah, I'm a white guy with a jerry curl, so I have to be.
Hey, whose leg do you have to hump to get a Dornish wine around here?
And then I think we got a message from Samuel.
I love you to the moon and back.
Me too.
Well, that looks like me.
Why didn't that one play?
Like the moon, my thoughts on this revolve around you. I'm so proud of you, and I hope you are too.
Thank you, Samuel. We appreciate you.
We do appreciate that.
Oh,
I love these little things. They're crazy. And then we've got House of the Dragon, but we're not talking about House of the Dragon, so we won't play those. So
Now, I
yeah,
have a question for both of you. Who is your favorite character in Game of Thrones?
Jon Snow.
Same.
Same.
It has to be.
I-
It's the prince that was promised. It's the story that connects from the start to the end. You know, the revelation of RNL equals J was just mind-blowing. Even reading it in the books was mind-blowing. You know, all this kind of stuff, because we knew that was already known, even though the books haven't got to that point of explaining it. It was already known. Like when George R.R. Martin interviewed Dan and David for the show, he asked them one pivotal question, and it was the parentage of Jon Snow, and if they answered it right or wrong would depend on whether they got the job. They answered it correctly. That's why they got the job. That's common fact on Game of Thrones.
That's interesting. So in the books, they've already talked about it?
Yeah. In the books, it's common knowledge that who John's parents is.
Common knowledge to who?
To John.
So when when John's in the Night's Watch, he already knows that he's a Targaryen.
Yeah, in the books, yeah, because he talks with his one Targaryen remaining family member that's at the wall.
Aemon.
Yeah.
So I wonder why they didn't do that. I
Hey,
wonder
Sam.
why they didn't do that in the book, or why didn't they do that in the show then? That's
Because they
interesting.
wanted to keep it climactic, didn't they? And
Yeah.
make everybody watch. Because, you know, how many people stopped watching when John was stabbed for the wall at the watch?
Yeah.
You know, for the watch, everybody stopped watching.
Yeah.
I was mortified.
And we come back and he's back. Yeah. Guys, we've been talking about Game of Thrones for like an hour and 50 minutes. So probably not going to go much longer than another 10 minutes. So then we'll be able to get out here and let everybody enjoy the rest of their evening. So let's close it down with maybe some quick fire rounds. Favorite actor that wasn't in Game of Thrones that you could see in Game of Thrones?
What do you mean?
Like favorite actor or
Who's favorite?
actress that isn't in Game of Thrones that you would have liked.
Oh,
to
that
see?
isn't. Oh,
Ian McGregor.
Ewan
Hmm.
McGregor. Very nice. Where would he play? What would he be?
What family?
Yeah, what would he be in the show? Would he be a Stark, a Lannister, a Baratheon, a Tully? What would he be? Remember, he's going to keep his Scottish accent. He doesn't necessarily have to keep it, but I think that's what makes Ewan McGregor Ewan McGregor.
I think he would make a good Tully.
Interesting. I would like to see. Do you guys know Billy Connolly?
who is it?
Billy Connolly, a Scottish comedian.
Mm.
Okay. He's funny. Maybe let me think of another one that you might know. I don't know. Warwick Davis.
Oh yeah, Warwick Davis would be pretty cool in it.
I would have liked to have seen Warwick Davis in an adult role. Maybe. Hey, maybe I've just clicked onto something. Why don't they give Mushroom the role to Warwick Davis for House of the Dragon? Because we need a jester that we haven't been introduced to yet. Again, this is me just going too far, but
So there's a
as
small
you,
person.
you remember I referenced in the breakdowns for House of the Dragon that in the book of House of the Dragon it's told from different perspectives and we never understand the true storyline of what's actually happening. One of those storylines that are told in the book of Fire and Blood is from Mushroom, the jester that is part and is in close contact with Rhaenyra. And he gives the dirty side of things and tells you what supposedly really happened. And then you've got the Maesters who give their side of the story. And then you've got the... I've just mind blanked. There's three people, you know, that were given references.
Wasn't one of them the Maester? It was the Jester, a Maester, and then somebody else.
And then so it's George R.R. Martin's made up person for himself in this world. I can't remember the name of it. It's gonna eat at me.
Look it up.
I don't know.
I don't want to look it up because I should know this. It's my bread and butter.
All of us
Archibald
forget somehow.
Gildane. Sir Archibald Gildane. That's it. Archibald Gildane, I believe. Yeah, but anyway, I believe that they should give it to Warwick Davis. There's my answer to my question. Warwick Davis should be in this franchise as an adult role. You know, swearing, all this kind of stuff. Headless, what about you?
Man,
You've met so many people that
I know. I'm trying to think. Like,
and it's a hard question because everybody on this show was a nobody before when they came to it, you know?
yeah, pretty much. What about?
You can even replace your character. You can replace the character that is in the show. Replace it with your actor or actress.
What about what's her face from Guardians? Zoe is it Saldana? Is that how you say her last name? She plays Zoe Saldana. She plays Gamora. She's also in Avatar. She plays the female.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, interesting. Who would you play?
Who would she play? I think she'd play like a. I don't want to see Dorn.
And this is why we're YouTubers, guys, and not casting for high movie budget shows. Because I would put a midget in, Baby Ice would put in a Scottish man, and Headless would put in somebody that is Blueface.
Blue or green?
Yeah, blue or green.
I don't know. She might be. I would like to see her as like so Brienne, right? That type of character made from a different house.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
yeah.
Or we can make her a long lost Valerian.
No, very nice. Very like that idea. So I don't think I gave what I would like to have happened in the season that didn't. And it just came back to me then. One thing that I irked for when watching I think it was actually the final episode, when Brienne is writing in her book about Jaime, and she's filling in the Knight's book, and she's giving him his plurals and being nice to him. I wanted her to write, and father to my unborn child.
Mm.
I wanted her to be pregnant with Jaime's baby going forward. I don't know. I just think it would have rounded his character off nice, because he would have done what he did, but she would have had her part of the goodness of Jaime that she could have raised.
That would have broken my heart. I was already pissed he left. Then to have her knocked up and him dead, no, I would have just been pissed.
It just would have been cool if she wrote in that book, where she's writing all that cool stuff and then the camera pans away and she's got quite a big belly, and she writes, father to my unborn child. Would have been amazing. I would have loved it. That would have finished his story arc for me.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I'm happy with the way it is. It's what we get. I don't think it's ever going to change, even though there's been petitions signed for another rerun. I genuinely don't think we'll ever get it remade.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that's what they're trying to do with the new show is fix? Because they can start off right after.
They're just trying to repair the reputation. They're trying to bring back the millions and millions of people that paid $9.99 a month for HBO Max.
Kind of up John's thing to fix what they ruined in the last season of Game of Thrones.
I don't think John's storyline will have much ramification to how the show ended in the original series.
Yeah,
I think they will completely swerve a lot of it. They will swerve a lot of it, and it'll just be his own side quest, his own story up north. I don't even think Jon will go to King's Landing in the show. I think it's all journeys up north with Jon Snow.
You don't think there's I don't know.
I don't think.
I mean, maybe in season 1, if they do more than one season.
Maybe at the end of season 1 he decides to go down south. But I don't think in the first season we see him south. I don't even think we see him south of the wall in season 1.
Well, because is he even allowed to do? I mean, because that was the whole point. He was sentenced to
the
wall.
Well, he was sentenced to the wall. He was sentenced to the Night's Watch, and he went past that and didn't even do what he was told to do. He wasn't sent past the wall. He was sent to the wall to be a Night's Watch.
Right.
And then he abandoned the Night's Watch and went north with his free folk.
Yeah.
So technically he's breaking the rules already.
Right, so... Well,
but if he goes south, I need him to go south, and I need Grey Worm to come back, and I need to have the one-on-one with those two.
Yeah, right.
I need Jon to slay Grey Worm. And no, I don't want it, because I love Grey Worm. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm pretty much done with season 8 talk.
Yeah.
Any last words, guys? Baby Ice, are you ever going to watch Game of Thrones again?
Yeah.
You would sit down and watch it again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But this time, if I watch it with you, please don't leave me at the red wedding and be like, bye, or, That was just horrible. You mean
You had to experience it like everybody else.
but to go bye and not even talk to me, like I was
No.
in shock and dramatically. I was traumatized.
So were we. When it happened, so were we. We had no one to talk to for an entire 7 days. At least I came back to you that next day.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. But you still left me.
So for anybody watching and listening right now, me and Baby Ice hung out quite a while back and we watched the entire show backstage in a StreamYard thing like this. And I obviously had the prior knowledge of what was going to happen. And Baby Ice had no idea, but she was loving it. And we got to certain episodes. And usually we would talk afterwards. We wouldn't talk through it because I wanted her to watch. And then afterwards we would have a good conversation about it and I'd ask her questions and I'd lead her down paths, down thought processes and all this kind of stuff. One week we got to the Red Wedding. And I didn't. I literally, credits rolled, I pressed the leave studio button and I left.
Yeah.
I left her to it.
It
was horrible.
Okay,
it was horrible. But I had to because it was the way we felt. And Headless, how did you feel after that episode when you first watched it?
Oh, dude. Oh,
you had your wife by you, I'm sure, so you'd be able to talk with her.
Yeah, we were like, "What in the world is going on?" We thought Headless. We thought Ned Stark was bad when we saw that. Then we saw that.
Yeah,
you never would have thought that because at that point they made Rob look like he was the main character. You know.
Oh, and you also did it to me on Hodor too.
I did it on Hodor too. Yes.
Yeah.
Because Hodor made me cry. Even watching it the third time with you, I was upset myself watching it.
Yeah.
Still makes me upset.
Oh my god! Why is he doing this to me?
So Headless, you know when you hear the and it goes and then we get the white screen, the HBO official where it opens up with the white screen. Do you get goosebumps every time you see that?
Yes, I think it's gonna be Game of Thrones, but unfortunately it's not always Game of Thrones.
Right.
Well, I only watch Game of Thrones on HBO, so
yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I get that feeling still to this day. Like when I watch it on reruns, I've got the whole thing on Blu-ray and stuff, and you open it up and it still does it. It's like, I get that feeling. And then it's the fade to black at the end with the music. It's horrible. But yeah, that's about it. Season 8 was okay. We'll probably do another live stream talking about it once we've got more structured stuff, and I want to get some more guests on. If you've watched Game of Thrones and you're hearing my voice right now, and you have thoughts and you have feelings on the show and you want to have them aired on YouTube, reach out to one of us and we'll get you on a live stream and you can come and talk about it, because I'm more than happy to talk with anybody any single day of the week for as long as it takes about Game of Thrones, whether it be season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
If you're watching it for the first time, please do not watch it with Ryan because he will traumatize you. Pick me or Headless.
What are you going to say, Headless?
Well, no, I was just going to say, like, we've been talking for an hour and a half, and it's like there's so much we didn't even touch upon, too, in season 8. Like, there's so much we didn't even talk about.
Well, if you've got more, let's get. I don't mind we can keep going.
No, I mean, it's fine, dude. Like, I'm just saying, so, to make it seem like this is going to be the first, like, the last time we're going to talk about season 8.
Oh, no, not at all.
There's so much more, really.
Yeah, I want to get Lily's thoughts on it. I know you've got in-depth, detailed thoughts on it, and I haven't watched it very recently. I just was really bored today, and I wanted to hang out with my friends. So I thought, well, hey, let's get two of the people on that I know have seen the show. So, But yeah, we'll have a more detailed and proper discussion about it down the line. But yeah, guys, that's about it. We've been going for an hour and a half. My name's been Ryan Milky. Been hanging out with Baby Ice. Been hanging out with Headless. Baby Ice, what's coming up this week?
I have Saturday Collector's Remix. I do have a video dropping sometime this week, and I believe LJ is doing Smoke Out and Hang Out tomorrow night. And
she's also on the Horseman tomorrow, guys.
Yeah. I'm also going to be on the Stable Club's channel with Mr. Ryan Milky.
And for people knowing, it's going to be broadcast live on Stable Clips and on my channel simultaneously at the same time. So feel free to chat in either chat boxes. It'll still come up in the StreamYard for us to see, and you'll still be answered and stuff. So I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, that's the way I'm going to be moving forward with my content. If it's Horseman related, it's going to be on Stable Clips and my channel simultaneously, which should be good. Headless, anything coming up this week?
Like I said, I just dropped that video today. So check that out. What would Star Wars look like if I owned it? Moving forward in 2023. I will have an unboxing video at some point this week, and I'm really thinking about doing this Castpod video now. I'm actually digging. I'm actually trying to write a little script right now as we're talking. I think I'm gonna do something because I want to find out more. So I'll probably drop in that video at some point this week too. And then we'll be live on Wednesday for Willow at 7 p.m. No, 9 p.m. 9 p.m.
Episode 7 is it over yet, dude?
Was what over?
Is Willow over yet?
No, we have 2 more.
Yeah, 2 more. I want to get to the other content that's coming so bad.
Yeah, no.
I love Willow, but I'm kind of done with it. I wish it was given to me all in one go.
I'm gonna make a video on Willow, but I want to see what happens in episode 7 first. I want to see if it's even worth it, because I was gonna make a video, but I'm gonna wait till we watch episode 7 first.
Cool. Again, if anybody needs to watch these shows and hasn't got access to them, reach out to me. I can give you access. It's just a link that I'll drop you, and you can watch the episode. Christina Payne, thank you for dropping links for everybody tonight and being a fantastic moderator. For myself, tomorrow is the first Horseman live stream of 2023. If you go back an entire year ago, I also We Made It 2022 Horseman live stream. I do first Tuesday of every month, and this year we have every guest, hopefully, fingers crossed everyone turns up that can make it. Every guest from 2012, there was 10 of them. I would been very sporadic with my planning, and I only found out that there was 10 of them today. So I added everybody into a group, and a lot of people have confirmed, so it's going to be a lot of fun. But it will be pretty much chaos. We're going to have like BOP. We're going to have... It's right here. We're going to have Simon, LJ, Baby Ice, Wayne Deacon, Patrick, Anthony, Headless, Eric from Two Boys, Mitchie, and BOP. 10 guests. They're all going to come on at different intervals, and they're all going to talk about what they did on their YouTube channels that they were proud of in 2022, and what they are wanting to do and aiming to do with their channel going forward into 2023 / New Year's resolutions. That's tomorrow. Wednesday, we're going to be hanging out with Headless Dead Stark, breaking down and talking about Willow, episode 7. Don't think we're doing anything Thursday. Friday, I'm away from YouTube. Saturday, we'll be back to whatever we do. And then Sunday, not this Sunday. No, not this Sunday the 8th, but Sunday the 15th. Stay tuned to Headless's channel, because that's where you'll see me again doing Sunday, Monday stuff with Headless. But we're not going to release right now. If you are smart enough, you'll understand what's coming, but we're not going to tell you directly what it is. But stay tuned to our channels and our socials, and you'll see some stuff coming real soon. I'm going to take it out. Any last words, guys?
Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
I'm not dead. Yeah. He says he's not dead. Yes, he is. I'm not